been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while. Have I missed much? I don't think I've missed much. I don't think I've missed much. What was the last thing I ever said on stream on my channel? Was it Arne Slot's just a fat tenarg? I would never say that. Big ups, though, people. Big ups. I'm back. I'm back. I wasn't planning on being back today. I will be honest. I'm still recovering from Germany. If you follow me on Twitter or you follow the Instagram or whatever, you'll have seen that I was out in Germany for the Euros with the football terrace. Big ups Terry and them, man. One of the best experiences of my life. That mental thing, but everything's hit me at once. So I'm still on the mend from that. But I saw a certain transfer thing today about a certain French centre back going to Manchester United, and then I saw a meltdown of seismic proportions from our fan base, and I feel like this needs to be addressed right now. I feel like it really does need to be addressed right now. But before we properly get into this, before we get into me being the same one and the logical one, if you're new here, you're not already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, you turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any more content. And yeah, let's get straight into this. Obviously, if you've been living under a rock or you haven't seen the news today, Manchester United have agreed a fee for Lenny Yoro from Lille, 62 million euros. He's flown over, he's done his medical. He's got a here we go from Fabrizio. The deal's done. And the common consensus from the fan base from following on from that news was basically Liverpool have shit the bed. We're washed, we're finished. Edwards is shit. The season's done. Let's just pack it all up. Do you understand how mental that is? We've missed out on one 18-year-old centre-back who, if we're being completely and utterly honest, people, has his head on Madrid anyway. United aren't getting to keep him for 10 years. He'll do 3 or 4 and then he'll be off to Madrid. Exactly how it'll do. United is a stepping stone for him. We should be beyond the stepping stone players. The reason why I'm not as bothered about the Lenny Yoro deal is because ultimately you sit down with a logical head, you assess the squad. Centre-back isn't necessarily the biggest problem in the world if we are able to keep Sepp van den Berg at the football club. So, as it stands, your current options are Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate, Quansah, Gomez, and Van den Berg. That's 5 centre-back options. Gomez will probably play a lot more at full-back though. So, but he can do a job at centre-back, so that it is 5 options there. That's a very solid set of rotation. Van Dijk is the best centre-back in the world. Konate is a good centre-back, but a bit injury-prone. Quansah's very good. This is something that needs to be addressed. The narrative switch-up and the narrative change on Jarell Quansah has been shocking. It's like people have just seen a shiny new toy. Let's bear in mind, people, I'll say this right out the bat. I didn't want Lenny Yoro. I knew nothing about Lenny Yoro because I don't watch the French league. I don't watch Uber Eats. I've got better things to do with my time than watch the French league. So I cannot sit there and tell you that I watch Ligue 1 and I have an intrinsic knowledge on Lenny Yoro and it's a discreditable. No, I've never watched Ligue 1. I've never sat down in my own time and went, you know what I want to watch now? A bit of the French league. So no, I've got nothing to say on him. But just on a purely financial basis, 62 million euros, 150 grand a week, 18 years of age, last year of his deal. I don't know about you people, but that's not a smart financial decision. I mean, I'll put it this way. The most clown deal out of any of the top 6 last summer was Mason Mount. because United paid 60 million for the player in the last year of the contract. Sounds eerily similar, doesn't it? But back onto Liverpool. Quansah, I think, can sit there and compete at the top level with these young centre backs that people are raving about. We all watched Jarell Quansah last season not look out of place at all. In fact, he even usurped Ibrahim Konate to end the season as Liverpool's first choice partner for Virgil van Dijk. In your first season at the club or in the first team, to achieve something like that is crazy. It goes to show the potential and the quality that he's got. Let's not rewrite history on Quansah and act like he's not this fantastic young talent that we want to see get game time. Because that's what we want to do. You want to keep seeing these youngsters get game time. So you got Van Dijk, Konate, Quansah, Joe Gomez, who last season had a resurgence. Is he necessarily the greatest centre-back? I don't think so. But you can clearly see that there's a lot of quality there in Gomez, and he's a very reliable piece to fall back on as a 4-4-5 choice. And then you've got Sepp van den Berg. Now, alongside Ligue 1, I don't watch much of the Bundesliga. I've watched more of the Bundesliga than Ligue 1, but not much more. And I didn't watch any Mainz last season. But going by the scouting reports, the news reports, the ratings, everything that you can look up online and watch and read about Sepp van den Berg, he had a very good season last season. I mean, Who Scored, who are one of the more reliable rating websites, had him as the best under-21 centre-back in the world, ahead of Lenny Yoro. We have him on the books. He's homegrown now because he's been here long enough. That is at Liverpool. Now, I know this whole thing going on about he's asked to leave and this, that, and the other. He's going to get chance. I look at it this way. He just needs guarantees of game time. If you're Sepp van den Berg, the chance of being a rotation piece at Liverpool with a clear sight lines of being a starter in the near future has to appeal to you more than going back to a relegation scrap in the Bundesliga. I'm sorry, it just does. It's not like Van den Berg's not going to play next year. Konate is going to get injured next year. The door will open up. And Van den Berg's versatile, he can do a job at either fullback as well. There will be opportunities. And Van den Berg's biggest sort of factor going for him so far is the fact that he's here all pre-season. This pre-season is fucked. This pre-season is fucked, people. Slot has like 5 actual first-team players there. He's got like 5 of them. And Simicast is one of them. That's like 4 because you don't want Simicast there. So he's got 4 first-team players. He can't do much at this point. So the players that are here now have a real big opportunity to impress and to state their claim. And I think Van den Berg is one of these players that should be looking at that opportunity and grabbing it with both hands. Because he could take that next step based off of all the things I've read and heard about what he done at Mainz last season. He was very impressive. And he's only 20, 21. If you've got Quansah and you've got Van den Berg together with Konate and Van Dijk as options, that's a solid set of centre-backs. It is. Whether people like it or not, is it the flashiest names? No. But that's not how it works. You're not going to spend 80 million quid on a centre-back to be a rotation piece. You're not. That's a stone-cold fact of the matter. And everyone wants to rave about the academy. Rightly so. Because of all the talent it's been producing recently. But if you're going to spend 60 to 70 million in every single fucking position to buy depth and to buy this, that, and the other, you're never going to see these young players actually step forward and take their opportunities and impress and make their mark on the team. Let's go back to last summer. Everyone wanted the right back board. Everyone did. We never expected Bradley to be anything. Conor Bradley come in. He was fucking flying. He was flying. He was so impressive. That's what you want. Quansah last season, everyone needed a centre-back. Club don't buy one. They trust the youngster Conte. He was our second best centre back last season. And then you go through when we had the major injury crisis. Who stepped up? The youngsters. Bobby Clark, McConnell, Jaden Dans. All these youngsters who came through our academy stepped up and impressed. And everyone at the end of the season was going, why don't we play them more? You close that avenue and you close that door if you go and spend willy-nilly. And not only that, you then fuck up squad rotation. Because if you're buying £70 million players in every single fucking position, I'm going to shock you here. £70 million footballers want to play every single game. Now, that isn't logistically possible. So you're going to unsettle people anyway. To make a squad up, you need to have options. You need to have clearly defined roles. You can't have a squad full of £70 million footballers. You need the backups. You need the youngsters. That's what we're about. Am I saying this Liverpool team does not need improvements? No. There is a clear spot which does need an improvement, which is defensive midfield. That is a very clear spot. But, right, KD. Let's have a look at Manchester City's squad, eh? Let's have a look at Man City's squad for you. Manchester City. So they got Edison in goal, Kyle Walker, John Stones, Nathan Ake, Akanji, Diaz, Gvardiol. I'd say, a couple of solid options there, but a couple of players who were clearly defined rotation pieces, i.e. your Akes and your Akanjis. And right now, we're Kyle Walker. In your midfield, De Bruyne, Kovacic, Phillips, Rodri, Nunes. That's 2. And Bernardo Silva, that's 3. That's 3. And then you've got 3 rotation pieces. You could do this with every single fucking squad. Because guess what? As much as we like to hype up Man City, their squad is not full of £70 million fucking footballers. Because that is not what fucking happens. Especially when you're Liverpool. Do I wish there was a magical world where we could spend 500 million quid every summer? Of course I fucking do. The league would be a piece of piss. But that is not what happens. That's not what happens. Oh, mate. KZ, this squad. I'm not saying this squad is fucking ready. This squad is not fucking ready. That is a clear point. But we don't need to buy every single fucking position. That is the point. I'm seeing people moaning about how we need a left back and a centre back and 2 midfielders and an attacker. There's only one hole in the squad, and that's DM. That's a stone cold matter of fact. There is one hole in that squad, and that's DM. Are there players who could improve? 100% there is. Do I wish my Darwin Núñez could score more? Obviously I do. Do I wish Diaz had end product? Of course I fucking do. But there's also a case of I cannot buy players in these positions without moving these fuckers on. Because it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. That's the fact of the matter. It does not make sense. Yes, we've brought 0. KZ, right, okay. KZ, I'm going to ask you to look around the league and all the other clubs and how many players they've bought. Now, Chelsea have bought like 6. But one of them was Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, one of them was Tosin Adarabioyo, and 4 others were youngsters. Now, are we sitting here as Liverpool going, oh, fucking hell, I'm gutted we missed out on Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall? No, we're not. No, we're not. Then you get to United, Xerxes. No one here wants fucking Xerxes. Yoro. People have been melting down about Yoro. I'm not asked about Yoro. We've got options there. Arsenal have made no signings. City have made no signings. Tottenham have made no signings. Do you want to know why clubs aren't making signings? Or the top clubs, should I say, aren't making signings? Because there's been 2 fucking major international tournaments. it's very tough to do business during an international tournament. If you want to have a look at everything, which players at the Euros signed for another club during the Euros? Which ones? Please enlighten me. Fucking no one. Because you don't make signings during tournaments. You don't. So, now that the tournaments are over, transfer business will pick up. That's the stone cold matter of fact. But if you really want to fucking look at it, sorry, I forgot Tottenham signed Archie Gray. Good signing, by the way. But if you really want to fucking look at it, go back to the press conference when fucking Slot and Hughes were introduced. Go listen to what Hughes says. It will be August business. Because Slot needs to assess his squad. And because of those tournaments that have just been played, I think, let me just make sure I've got it right in my head. Van Dijk, Gakpo, Gravenberch, Gomez, Trent, Diaz, and Nunes, and I might be forgetting one or two more, all them fuckers don't get back until the start of August. So he cannot assess his entire fucking squad until August. And the point of the matter is, if this was Jurgen Klopp in charge, I would see it differently. Because Klopp would have an understanding of the fucking squad. But Slot needs to assess. And this is something that needs to be addressed as well. This is something that needs to be addressed. Arne Slot does have a say when it comes to transfers. Let's keep it real. Arne Slot does have a say. I forgot McAllister as well. Thank you, Freedom Journey. Arne Slot does have a say. It's not to the extent where he gets to sit down and go, I want X player and no one else. Or I want Y player and no one else. What will happen is a very simple cycle. Slot will assess his squad. He will sit down with the transfer committee and he will go, DM and left backer positions that I think could improve on. The transfer committee will nod their head. Everyone will fuck off. A week or two later, everyone will reconverge. And all of a sudden, we'll have a left back and a DM signed. Because that is where Slot's involvement ends. He recommends the position and then he doesn't have a say. But the manager has to recommend the position. Because otherwise, we would be buying players that the manager might not even fucking need. The manager, or the head coach, coaches the fucking team. So he needs to believe in the team and he needs to understand the team. Is this the ideal situation? No. In fact, I would argue this is the worst summer for Slot to take over in. Because of the fucking tournament, because of who he's taken over from, because of the contract situations. There's so much upheaval that it's piled on. But this is the matter of fact. This is the matter of fact. But it does, Casey, it does make sense because that's exactly how it works at every other football club. Do you think Pep Guardiola just walks in on the first day of training and sees three players he didn't even know were coming? Or does he go to the fucking directors and go, I think I need a centre-back, a right winger, and cover for Rodri. And then they go out and buy a centre-back, a right winger, and cover for Rodri. And then he comes in, he doesn't say who. He doesn't say, I want Savio. He says, I need this position, and then they go find it for him. That's how it works. The manager is not going to walk in and see three players, just new players who, bang, there you go. The manager has to have a say. He has to, because he's the one who creates the team. He's the one who puts the lineups out. He's the one who's coaching them. He's the one who sees them day in and day out at training. So he's got the best view on it. He can tell which positions need replacing, but he's not part of talent identification, and he's not part of the transfer side of things. He is the guy who assesses the problem, identifies the problem, and hands the problem over to the people that are paid millions of pounds a year to address the problem. Then when he gets the solution in, he works with the solution. That's how it works. That's how it worked under Klopp. That's how it will work under Slot. Aegon, That is exactly how it works. He has seen. I'm sure he's watched videos. I'm sure he's watched matches back. But there is a different side of things to when you're hands on and you're running through drills and you're running through the new system shape and you're running through your tactics. That's when you get to see how these players fit in. There's only so much that can be done through video analysis, especially when you're playing a different way than the previous manager. Some. Do I think the squad is perfect? No. If I had an ideal summer, I would be moving on certain players and I'd be bringing certain players in. What do I think will happen this summer? I think we get a defensive midfielder, an attacker, and a defender. I think you get 3 signings. But ultimately, this squad is not 5 or 6 players away. This squad is 2 or 3 players away. If you get 2 or 3 of the right players, you nail the contract renewals, all of a sudden things change. People's narratives change. People's mindset changes. I think we need a DM, a wide attacker, and a defender who can play off the left. That's how I look at it. But I know that attacker's not going to come in unless Diaz leaves. And it looks like Nico Williams is going to go Barca, which then shuts the door for Luis Diaz leaving. I also know that left-sided defender's not going to come in unless Tsimikas goes. I don't see Tsimikas going because who the fuck would buy Tsimikas? We cannot buy another fucking forward if we don't let one go. Because we can't have 4 players battling for one position. It's not how it works. It's just not how it works. Same goes with left back. We can't have 4 players battling for one position at left back. You're going to piss people off. You're going to ruin squad harmony. It's not how it goes. With that being the case, I believe that we will make 2 signings. I believe that we'll end up picking up a defensive midfielder, and one of the attacker or the defender will go, and we'll pick that one up. We won't address everything this window, probably not, because I just don't see where both of them sales happen. But they are holes that can be patched up. I don't need to play Diaz. I don't need to play him. I can play Gakpo, who had a very good Euros. I wonder who was going on about Gakpo the whole time. But what I'm going to do is not jump the gun, is not act like I'm the fucking oracle who knows everything. I'm going to bide my time and I'm going to see how this ownership group operates. They have got until the end of the window. That is when I will make my assessment. But they have had a shit summer to come into. 100% they've had a shit summer to come into. With so much upheaval, so much change. And guess what? If Arne Slot thinks that he doesn't need many transfers, that's fine. It's his job that's on the line. It's his job that is on the line. He's got to live and die by his suggestions and his decisions that he's pushing forward. So if he says, I only need a defensive midfielder, and we go and get that defensive midfielder, then he's got to hit expectations because he believes the squad is perfect alongside that. Big ups my guys selection though. Thank you for the super chat. Very much appreciated. I don't think what you're saying is hard to comprehend. It's common sense. Manager assesses squad identity, what needs improvement, which might not be positions fans think. Discuss it with the board. For all we know, Slot could be sitting in meetings right now going, fucking hell, I need a new right back. Fucking hell, I need a new right winger. I need a new centre mid. I need a new goalkeeper. We don't know what's going through his head, but he needs to assess the squad. And he cannot assess the squad if he hasn't seen the fucking squad. I don't know if anyone's got a list. I'm sure someone in the comments can chuck together a list for me of all the players who are currently in training. There we go. I love seeing the internet in my house work so well. Brilliant. But I'm back, people. I'm operating on my phone now whilst I wait for my internet to come back up. I forgot what I was saying. I think I was going on about who's in the squad, who's left. We've just got to work off of what we've got, and the fact of the matter is, the manager needs to assess all that. He needs to assess that. That's what the whole point of a manager is. It would be stupid of us to ask Arne Slot to come in, and then just he gets everything there. At the end of the day, this is a separate sort of way of operating and way of running. We aren't being run by the same people we were before. Michael Edwards has got his people in. Michael Edwards is running it in his way. That means that I can't judge them by the same standards that were set beforehand, in my eyes anyway. If you want to judge them by the same standards, you judge them by the same standards. Who am I to tell you what to do? But I'm not going to do that. I can't, in my right mind, judge them by the same standards for actions that they didn't do. They have until the end of the window, at least. I'm going to give this new regime a chance, as I feel everyone should be giving this new regime a chance. I do think there's positions that need to be filled. I do think there's things that need to be done first before anything else. But these are the people in charge, and who am I to judge against that, if you get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, people need to understand this window is going to be operated quite differently than usual. People saying that it'll be too late by August to get business done. August is when the majority There we go, I'm back. This is stupid. But yes, that is that is when people and players will be coming back from their tournaments, from their holidays, and they'll be having their sit downs with their clubs, and they'll be starting to push. If you go to every single window after a major tournament, business is done later than usual, because that's just simply how it goes. You can't expect business to be done in June and July, when half the players that will probably move aren't going to be in a fucking mood to negotiate transfers, because they're at international tournaments. That's not how it works. So business will be conducted later than usual by every single club, not just Liverpool. It makes sense for us because our manager needs to sit down and assess everyone in the squad and figure out who he thinks fits his system, what positions he thinks he needs to address and bring someone into. But something that needs to be nipped in the bud right here, right now. Anyone who's suggesting that Liverpool Football Club won't make any signings this summer are mental and need to take a step back. Liverpool are going to make signings this summer. I don't know how many, but they're going to make signings this summer, because they can see the problems as well. They're not idiots. We don't have dickheads in charge. We don't. Now, transfers are one side of the equation. There are three, how should we say, exclamation marks in the current squad that need to be addressed. And that is the contract situation regarding Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now. What does that mean for Liverpool? Well, ideally, all three of them extend. Do I believe all three of them are going to extend? No. I don't. And to me, I worry about who the guy who won't extend will be. I have a very bad feeling that Trent Alexander-Arnold might not extend his contract. I do. There is no reason for him to extend his contract ultimately. he's achieved everything he could do at Liverpool. He's won league titles. He's won Champions Leagues. And whether people like it or not, the allure of being a one-club man is gone in football. There is no appeal to dedicating your whole career to one football club anymore. There is none. If you try and be a one-club man now, you're laughed at for ducking other leagues and not being able to hack all these other leagues. So that's what worries me with Trent. Right. Okay. Casey, let me ask you a question. Do you believe if we signed Lenny Yoro, that would be showing real ambition? Do you believe if Liverpool spent 65 million and offered 150 grand to Lenny Yoro, that would be showing real ambition? Because maybe we have differing ideas on the subject. I just need to know where you stand on that. But when it comes down to what we should do, right, here we go. In a way, he's a generational talent, they say he is. So, if we spent 65 million, he would become our second most expensive defender of all time, our third most expensive player of all time. He would be on higher wages than McAllister, Jota, Robertson, Elliott, Jones, Diaz. All this for an 18-year-old who's had one season and is in the last year of his deal. We look at that as a stupid financial decision. I don't think Salah, Van Dijk and Trent would look at Lenny Yoro coming in and go, that's why I'm staying. With the idea around the deal, that's not a move that signals ambition. What we need to do is let the people in charge work. Let them fucking work. That's all it is. It is the 18th of July. We don't know where the fuck our transfers are. We don't know who we're targeting. We can't make any single decisions regarding or make any assumptions on what the football club's plans are because it is silent. It is nilch. It is nada. If you don't trust them, Casey, then I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about that. And you can sit there and be negative and moan all you want. That's fine. I cannot change your opinion on whether you trust the people in charge or not. My point is, this isn't the same people that have been in charge for the past 3 years. There is no transfer control in that sense by the manager. The manager isn't identifying targets. The manager is saying the position that he wants. The manager is back in the role that the manager was in from 2017 to 2020. Ironically, our most successful period. That's all there is. He is back in that role. We have got people above who we praised to the high heavens for building that squad. They are in charge again. They have not had a chance. They have not had a chance to break my trust. I can't not trust them because they've not made me break my trust. This isn't the same FSG as years gone by because guess what? This isn't the fucking FSG people. If you look at how we've restructured, no one from FSG, bar Michael Edwards, who everyone fucking raves about, has a say on what goes on at the football club anymore. No one. And Edwards doesn't really have a say in regards to Liverpool because he's controlling it as a fucking whole. He's busy not negotiating transfers because he's trying to buy a fucking football club for them. That's what he's doing. So no one at FSG is currently operating in regards to transfers at the football club. No one is. So I can't then beat them with that FSG stick. I can't. I've got to give them a chance. Richard Hughes improved at this level up. Michael Edwards was unproven at this level as well. He was. In fact, the only director of football we had that was somewhat proven at the top level was Schmackett, and he was shit because he would try and negotiate transfers in fucking Ibiza. So I'm willing to give Richard Hughes a chance. Fuck it. Why not? Why not? He might be unproven, but it might work. He might come in with a different idea, with a different mindset that brings success. I want to look at this new regime as positive. That's what I want to do. I want to look at it with a good light, with a positive mindset, with an idea that something is going to come from it and that we are going to nail it. That's how I want to look at it. I don't believe the meltdown over Lenny Yoro makes sense. You want my honest truth? Quan's better. I've not watched Lenny Yoro, but if you go look statistically, Quan's better. If you go look statistically, Sepp Van den Berg's better. And Van den Berg was playing a shit might seem, didn't really have the ball. So you consider all of that. Why not have a bit of positivity about not signing Yoro? Why not wait for these guys in charge of the football club to fully assess the squad, fully assess how they fit in the system, in the team, in the new tactics under the new manager, and then go from there. That's how I look at it. But surely you're worried about how quiet everything is. We used to praise the football club about how quiet everything was and the fact that nothing got leaked out. From a content creator sense, it's fucking annoying because I've got nothing to talk about. But from a smart footballing sense, it makes sense to be quiet so teams can't ruin your deals and can't nick in and turn players' heads and stuff. Sepp wants a player that was the Howie bench to the concert. Sepp Van den Berg will 100% have opportunities to play next year. We're in full competitions. Full competitions, Champions League are the restructure. If Liverpool make the semi-finals of the Cups and the quarter-finals of the Champions League, which would be a really bad season, Liverpool are playing upwards of 55 games. Sepp Van den Berg is going to play a lot of football if Liverpool are playing 55 games. He will do, especially when you factor in that Canarte gets injured and that Quansah needs rest sometimes and that Van Dijk needs rest sometimes. Quansah will get opportunities, not Quansah, fucking Van den Berg will get opportunities. And I don't see how a relegation battle in the Bundesliga is better for your career than challenging for fucking top honours with Liverpool. That I just don't see it. All the reports and all the suggestions are that Slot's impressed by Van den Berg. Slot's positive about Van den Berg and he's going to give him a chance to impress during this pre-season tour. So to me, that implies that Slot would like to keep him around and has had conversations with him and has suggested that he might have a future here, which is big. I know PSV are negotiating, but we need to see how pre-season goes. Pre-season can change like that. Can change just like that. Quansah was supposed to go out on loan last year. At that good of a pre-season and bang. Right, okay. Now we're just going. Why Slot delusional? Again, Arne Slot is not just going to have fucking Van den Berg around because he's from fucking Zwolle. He was the highest rated centre-back, under 21 centre-back in the world last year. That probably carries more weight than his fucking birthplace. I'll be real. They just need a chance. I get people's concerns. I get people's negativity. I get people's all that. I don't have the same mindset. I have nothing to be negative about because nothing has fucking happened. I understand why business hasn't happened yet because of all these extenuating circumstances. I'm not going to beat certain people with a stick when I understand the logic. Whether you agree with me or not, I can only say what I can say, and if that convinces you, it convinces you. Do I believe, if I was in charge, would I be targeting certain things and certain players? Yes. But I am a fucking scouser who talks about Liverpool on YouTube. The people in charge of the football club are paid millions of pounds a year. They might see stuff I don't. Will that make me stop saying my piece? No. But for now, it's bought them time. They have a window, minimum, from me, where I want to see what they think the problems are, how they're going to address it. I am not going to be straight away piling it on the manager, piling on the recruitment staff and the people who've just joined the football club. That to me isn't effective. It's not useful. It's not smart. What needs to happen now is the people who've joined need a chance to work. They need a chance to show why we picked all of them to step forward and take the reins after the most successful period of Liverpool in my lifetime. So they're going to get that opportunity from me. I'm going to give them that chance. Whether you want to, alongside me, or whether you have your preconceptions or whatever, that's fine. But that's my stance on it. That's how I see it. I'm not panicking. I'm not having a meltdown. I'm not worried. I'm not anything. I expect business to be done late this window because of the tournaments, because of when players are going to arrive. Does that mean because business is going to be done late, there's going to be no business? No, I would 100% going to sign someone. Will it be the business that everyone wants? No, because guess what? I've been doing this now this is my 4th full season. I've come to realise you will never appease everyone. Hell, the football club might not appease what I was saying at the start of the window in terms of the positions I want addressed. They might not do that. But you know what? I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to let them figure it out. And if Arne Slot buys 2 players and then goes, I'm fine with that, then Arne Slot's got to work with that. And Arne Slot's got to get the best out of that group of players. And he deserves the chance to. And he deserves the backing of this Liverpool fan base to do that. But people, I'm going to call it there. It's near on 1 o'clock in the morning. Like I said, I'm still on the come down from Germany. I'm tired. This was a bit of a rant, if anything, about the carry on from the fan base on Twitter and stuff about and the mentality around the football club at the minute. I'm not saying be ultra positive and FSG and this, that, and the other, but give the people in charge a chance. Understand why business hasn't been done yet. Apply logic to the situation, because when you apply logic, everything becomes so much clearer. But people, I'm going to love you. I'm going to leave you in a bit. To raw people, to raw.